Thank you so much for joining me on my radio podcast. This is Deborah the Judge radio podcast, all the way from Putnam County, Florida. Yes, Putnam County, Florida, in the northern central section of Florida. And I think I'm going to turn this around just a little bit so I can get a different lighting in. Here I am. Yes, I'm sitting here with my black eyed peas, right? That's a tradition in the black um, family for New Year's Eve is to have what we would call black eyed peas and greens for success, and no, green for money and black eyed peas for success, right? But anyway, thank you for joining me on my radio podcast. Hello to all the judges out there. And yes, you can judge a motherfucker too, right? Oh, but before we get started, I want to say Instagram, you will not shut me down, okay? So Instagram has basically put me on timeout until January the 4th. So I can't go on Instagram because I hurt somebody's damn feelings and shit. Well, see, this is the thing. If you're going to come on and you are going to say some shit and then somebody starts saying some shit about you, now you get offended and you want to report somebody. If you don't want to get into it with anybody, don't post on their shit and then you won't get into it. This bitch got into shit with me and I roasted her ass. But see, what she doesn't know is I used to do stand-up comedy, right? So even though I'd be roasting it would be funny as hell, right? So even the people that's agreeing with her would be laughing at this shit, okay? But anyway, so I want to come on and give you guys the latest scoop on what's really going on out here. And this is an opinionated podcast for those who don't know. Um, I do talk about news topics, but this is mostly my opinion and my opinion only. Okay, you have your own opinion and shit like that, and hey, I respect that. But at the end of the day, go where to the websites or the YouTube stations that agree with the shit that you're talking about. Because I'm not here to agree with anybody. I just see some shit that I want to talk about, and I talk about it. Easy. So that's why you'll never hear me click the like button, send me some money on PayPal. No, I don't do this shit. I got my own shit. But a lot of these people are being shut down. That's right, TDJ is shutting their ass down. But before I get into that, because I want to talk about DJ Khaled, TD Jakes, Tyrese, Fantasia, Taraji P. Henson, and Shirley Caesar. A little bit about immigration and the what's happening in Florida, and a little bit about LBGT. But let me just get my political shit out the way, okay? Because for a lot of you guys that listen to me, y'all know that's some boring ass shit. But it's just shit we got to talk about, okay? So everybody knows Trump. Look at I said Trump. Trump. Don't get mad at me. It's just it's a grammatical error. Okay, just stop tripping. Okay, so everybody knows now that Trump has been removed from the Maine ballot. So the state of Maine has removed Donald J. Trump from their ballot for now. Okay, always say for now. Okay, because we know that they're not going to be able to do it once it hits up to the higher courts. Okay, so Colorado was the first one, okay, to remove him from the ballot. But just yesterday, they had to go back and reinstate him and put his name back on the ballot. You see this game, how they play this game? It's just twisting the minds of people who are for or against one candidate and making them think like they are accomplishing something. Okay, this is what the media gets people all tuned in to help distract the American citizens, so we be fucked up on political shit or on racist shit and don't realize that financially this country is robbing us. The elites are robbing fucking us. Let Taraji P. Henson tell you, okay? But anyway, I'll get to her later. So yeah, so this is the thing. All of these blue states, because Maine is the Democratic blue state, okay? In 2016, she won over Trump in 2016 in that state. And then, of course, Biden took it in 2020. Okay. At the end of the day, by not by a huge margin. Okay. But they did take it. So let me just say this. When you have a blue state, a Democratic state, the majority of these states are going to try to ban him from the ballot. And they're supposed to. That's what the fuck they do. They're supposed to. And the Republicans and Donald Trump is going to repeal that shit and get that shit annulled, you know? And they're supposed to do that because you got one team doing one thing and another team, everybody fighting for the rights of, their party at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, like I said, once this information gets to the Supreme Court, and I'm not talking about the state Supreme Court, because a lot of people think, oh, the Supreme Court. There's a state Supreme Court, and then there's the big federal Supreme Court. That's two different damn things, okay? The big courts is the ones that got the six conservatives, and a few of those had been appointed by Donald J. Trump, okay? So he knew what the hell he was doing when he did that. That was one of the best things that he could have ever did for his behalf into the future, is appointing people on the highest court that had conservative values like his. So at the end of the day, even Maine, they're going to have to reverse that shit. They're just going to have to do that. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about the 10 tunnels, Israel. There were 10 tunnels on yesterday that Israel has basically destroyed. And they're sending the dogs in. Who let the dogs out? Woo, 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 who let the dogs out? Israel. They let the dogs out on their ass, okay? So they got the dogs and shit in there, okay? And people can say what they want to say. Yeah, drones are good and missiles are good, whatever. But the dogs will smell your ass out in a minute. Man's best friend is to the rescue. And I know a lot of y'all gonna get mad at me. The people are dying over there. Yeah, they are. They're dying over here every day. It's a different kind of death, but at the end of the day, everything is historically biblical. And this is a time for that. There's a time for war and there's a time for peace. And we're entering into the war zone. So I tell you, enjoy your life. Because you just don't know, tomorrow you may be gone. You notice I said you, I ain't say me. You may be gone. I'm still hanging around here with my old ass. Okay, so anyway, that's the thing that's going on in the political realm. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is New York City, Texas, Massachusetts. All of these governors and mayors are now declaring a state of emergency because of the immigrants. Who knew? I did. I knew they was going to do that shit because they done ran out of money. And all this is another money grab so they could take care of these immigrants. And eventually Biden is going to give them the money because why? As we go into 2024, they need those Venezuelan votes. They need the votes. And they're going to find a way to allow those people to vote. They're probably going to say, well, once they get the little visa, not a visa, but once we give them a state ID, now they can vote. You see how this game just be going on and shit. It just, so Trump may not win the popular vote because you got an extra 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5 million immigrants, but he will win the electoral votes. And that's what's important in elections. And people don't understand it. It's the electoral votes. It's not the popular votes, but the electoral votes. So yes, they're going to reverse that in Maine very soon. So let's get to the immigration situation. Now they got a thing where the buses that are coming from Texas, they're trying to fix Texas ass because the governor of Texas is busting their ass everywhere else. So now what they're doing is they're going to do some illegal action or criminal action on the bus drivers that drive these immigrants coming from Texas. So I don't know if they're going to impound the buses or they're going to arrest the drivers. So I think what the drivers are going to do, since they don't want them to come to New York, what they're going to do, they're going to drive them up there and they're going to drop their asses off in the suburbs. So not only now is New York going to have a problem, but now they're going to be dropped off in different places. Okay. Manhattan, Staten Island, all these little areas and shit. Okay. Same thing in Chicago. Okay. They're going to put them around the suburbs of Chicago, Maywood. They're going to put them around in, now they ain't going to put them in Harvey because Harvey ain't got no damn money, you know. But Elk Grove, Elmhurst, and all these places that are around the cities, that's where they're going to start dropping these immigrants off if these bus drivers get criminally charged for bringing the immigrants up to these states that are in states of emergency. So this is the game. They're just playing with people, and they're playing with these Venezuelans as well. In fact, these states now, they got information that they're trying to send a Venezuelan in Spanish telling these people, don't come. They have no place for you. Do not come. But it's too late because these people have left Venezuela. And as I told you on yesterday, the Venezuelan leader said, you can't come back here. So they're not going to allow them to come back to Venezuela. So now they're stuck in a catch-22 between Venezuela, Mexico, and all those Honduras and all those countries in between. But they got the caravan, they're on their way. Okay, a little bit of LBGT news. Okay, so there's a trans person, right, that is upset, almost got arrested because somebody failed to identify his trying to be her gender. So the person was just upset because they didn't identify the gender as a female, basically. And Delta's like, we're not having that shit, okay? So the person, it was supposed to be a famous person. The name is Tommy Dorfman. Tommy Dorfman. Somebody that plays on Netflix or whatever. I have never watched the program or whatever. But he was upset that they didn't acknowledge her as a her. She as a her. Oh, this is so confusing. Just stick to one gender, please. Stop confusing me. But it is what it is. And so they called the police and we gonna have your ass arrested if you don't shut the fuck up. But basically that's what they told her. So she's offended. He was offended. See how I'm confused I am about this shit? But if you look like a dude, you're gonna get called like a dude. If you look like a female, you'll get called like a female. You see what Bruce Jenner did? Bruce Jenner done left Caitlyn. Bruce Jenner done took the makeup and shit off, the dresses and shit off. The last time picture that they showed of him, he ain't got no breasts, he ain't got shit. He was walking around like who? Bruce Jenner. He said this female shit has got too much going on, walking around in heels and shit. Women don't even like to walk around in heels. We just do that shit for the pop and circumstances. Yeah, so welcome back, Bruce. Welcome back. He just thought that Kardashians were having so much fun, and he wanted to be included in the fun. But he realized that being a female was not an easy task. He missed some of that male privilege. See, it's a male privilege shit going on, too. And what's worse than male privilege is male grooming. Now, I talked about that a little bit on yesterday, but today I want to expand on that just a little bit. Because you know I talked about TD Jakes, right? But this male grooming thing is just totally in the church, has been totally bust wide freaking open. And I'm not going to go back through the stages of TD Jakes was the grandfather, and Bishop Long was the father, and Kirk Franklin was the son, and his son. All of them got gay sons, right? I'm not going to go into that today. But I do want to say that there was a true grooming of these men. And most of these men in the church that we're talking about were black men, these young men, grooming them up. And there's so much that goes into that when we talk about grooming black males. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theory." I don't give a shit. You can say whatever you want to say, okay? But a lot of that has to do with the Black Boule and also the Illuminati. That a lot of people just don't want to get into that. But all these different rituals and shit like that, there is truth to a lot of that, and you can read some of that stuff on your own. I've been through this for years on social media talking about that shit. Um, and there's one person, uh, Yash Kara. If you ever listen to Yash Kara when he was on YouTube, he was telling you all of this shit like 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. He was saying all of this stuff about what you see going on right now. He'd been talking about that. This was not new. So, I had been listening to him a long time ago, and he was able to connect the dots. So it's not important just to see what we see or to see what's going on social media, but being able to connect the dots to a higher level of what it is that you're looking at. Okay? That's what's important. And you got to ask yourself, why is it that all of these young men, especially black men, have been groomed into what we would call the lifestyle, the gay lifestyle? And why is it that mostly all of these gay pastors got wives, but they got them as trophy wives because they know that the black church was not going to accept that because of the biblical stance of what the Bible says. The Bible is clear about gay relationships, about men sleeping with other men. The Bible is totally clear. And even though these ministers, just like I told you with Bishop Bishop Long always talked that marriage is between a man and a woman. And even though allegedly he was sleeping with these boys and shit, he still preached what the word said. So he knew he had some issues that needed to be resolved. He just was not able to get over that. It was just too much fun. He was having too much fun in the booty. Hoodie. I know this ain't funny, but it's funny to me because at the end of the day, grown people gonna do what they do. It's just when you start manipulating the young minds, that's the issue and that's the problem. Because these people can be fucked up for life. These young boys, they start training them early. They may not touch them until they get about 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever, but they're grooming them early. And unfortunately, some of them do get touched earlier than that. And Oprah and all these people and shit, they're all in that shit together. Sex trafficking, allegedly. They're all in that shit together. High powered people. And ain't nobody gonna question them, basically, because they scared. Because they don't have any money to fight that shit. If you're a poor person, like Tasha K. Megan's, what is that? Cardi B came after her ass and sued her. She got to pay this woman over $1 million for some shit she said about Cardi B. I think she said she had herpes or some shit. Okay. Which she shouldn't have said if she didn't have it. She should have said allegedly or whatever. Okay. But at the end of the day, she got to pay her that money. So now she asking Kevin Hart for $250,000. That's what Tasha K said. Give me $250 and I won't run the interview about you being a cheater, basically. He said, oh, no, hell no. Not doing it. So now he's what? He's suing her. So he gonna sue her and he gonna get paid. Poor Tasha. Poor Tasha fucked up. Okay, they just gonna get Tasha. Unfortunately, she gonna have to hide her money. I don't know what she gonna do. Maybe somebody come to her rescue. I don't know. But Tasha is gonna be screwed because Kevin Hart is going to win because he got money. Cardi B got money, and when you fuck with people that got money, you have to be careful. This is why people don't come out and report this shit. Because you really got to have all your ducks in a row. Like Cassie had all her shit in a row. The videos and all this shit that she had. And she didn't have all that. And then, of course, the bodyguards and shit came out and confirmed it. And the person who murdered Tupac came out and told. That's what helped her case. Not just because of her. Because these rich people and shit, that money go deep. And they all fucking stick together. I told you how Oprah Winfrey was teaming up with T.D. Jakes. And there's a couple of people now on YouTube and shit. They got strikes on their channel. They got strikes on their channel because they ran a video of TD Jakes ministering on Christmas. All I gotta do is repent, and I'm good. If I did do it, if I did, nigga, please, you know you did some dirty shit. Allegedly, this is opinionated, my opinion only. Okay. So anyway, let's go to the next. I titled this DJ Khaled. All I do is win, win, win. Well, guess what? There was a video on yesterday that was released. Okay. So for those who watch YouTube creators, there's a lady by the name of Lisa Tales. And she be telling some shit. The bitch is bad. She doing her damn research. And she finds out, she dig and finds some shit that, because she goes through the legal aspect of going through that. She ain't just looking on somebody's channel like me, looking at their shit and reporting their shit. But I'm not trying to get paid off it. And I give people credit for what they do. I'm not taking it like it's my shit. Like, Now, when I read the reports and stuff from the news, that's something different. But if I look on somebody's channel on YouTube and I see that, damn, this is what they doing, I will say that this is where I got it from. So Tisa Tales, right, had a interview tape from a P. Diddy's exotic dancer. So this was an exotic dancer. It looked like he might have been Latino to that extent or something. Nice looking guy. Okay. It was what we would call what they do, police did a interrogation of this guy back in 2013, where he basically collaborated everything that Cassie said in her lawsuit. So I listened to the whole interview, but I'm going to tell you what I picked up, because everybody knows the regular stuff that happened with Cassie. But this is what I picked up. And I had said this before with DJ Khaled. So the guy who was the interrogator, who was the stripper, 13 times or more, he was involved with P. Diddy doing some of these acts. And he came out in the interrogation and said that DJ Khaled and Rick Ross were gay. This is what he said. I'm not saying it. I mean, they look gay, because I always tell you I can tell a person to look gay. That's my personal opinion, okay? But DJ Khaled and Rick Ross, this guy, and his name is Jonathan Adodi, something to that effect, who was a male stripper from Miami, where P. Diddy lived during the time that all this shit was going on. So he came out and he spilled all the beans. He said we was in the room and shit, and DJ Khaled and Rick Ross was gay. And it makes you wonder, because every time you see DJ Khaled, he's always standing behind Puffy. Like he's the co-signer. You know what I mean? The hype man. The same thing that Bentley Fogsworth was. And allegedly, he was sleeping with Diddy too, allegedly, okay? So he had, P. Diddy always got a front man behind him who's into the same thing that he's into. Because I used to wonder when I said DJ Khaled, he's a Palestinian. And usually men that are Palestinian or Muslims are not associated with gayism stuff. Usually. Okay. And usually he would come out and say pro-Palestine, but he ain't saying this shit. Because he got money tied up in what Jewish money tied up in his business ventures. So that's why he ain't said shit and ain't going to say nothing. He trying to be quiet. But no, you going to come out of that. You're coming out too. You can't hide. All these people that are involved in this shit do dirties. When you're doing dirty, you can't do dirty forever. That shit will catch up with you, and it's catching up with all of these people. It just is. And Tyrese, I'm so upset. I talked about Tyrese yesterday. He did a red carpet premiere with a fucking red dress on. A long red dress, fitted and shit. Kind of look good and shit. You see his hips and shit with a black jacket. I was like, look at this bullshit. I said, Tyrese, you done sold yourself out. You need money that bad. Yeah. Because that woman is demanding so much money per month and he crying and shit. to the courts. She want too much money. That's why he did it. So he can get more money. And watch and see, don't now he blow up. He gonna be in some other big movie and you gonna see his name. You know, because anytime the black men start wearing dresses and shit, they get hyped up to another level. And that's what he did it for. But at the same time, you know, you done sold your soul, baby. And I'm not sure when people sell their souls, once they give themselves to the devil or they give themselves to evil, I'm not sure if they can repent that shit because your soul is gone now. You done gave it to the devil. You can't get your soul back. The devil's not going to give you your soul back. It just doesn't work that way. So let's talk about Fantasia, my girl Fantasia. Y'all seen The Color Purple? She was outstanding. She was outstanding. She sung the shit out of that. She acted the shit out of that. Of course, I had my doubts and shit about a lot of shit that was going on in The Color Purple, but it is what it is. It's one of those Oprah movies. And when Oprah make movies, it's all about what she say. It's all about empowering women. That's what she say it's all about. But it ain't always about empowering women. But that's the agenda that she wants to make people believe. Because if it was empowering women, why in the hell did she not pay Taraji P. Henson what she was worth? And Taraji came out and she was upset about, talking about the math ain't math. And well, this is what I don't understand. She was working with Oprah. And I don't really fault Oprah for this, but I fought her for it. Because if you sign a contract that you're going to do something for a certain amount of money, that's the shit you sign. And now you mad at them because the movie is making $300 million and they paid you $500,000. Now you mad. But that's not what you negotiated for. And that's the same thing with Monique. Monique did the shit for $50,000 for Precious. That's the fuck all she got is $50,000. That's some low down shit. But she took it. And then after she won the awards and all this shit, she was like, he didn't pay me what I was worth. But she was okay with that until they wanted her to go and do some press work to promote the movie. And I think, too, this is what Taraji P. Henson was upset about. Is not only did she sign to do the movie, that's what she signed up for. She didn't sign up extra to go running around the United States and all overseas and shit to promote the movie. And if you don't do that, then you have a tendency to put yourself in a position where they want to blackball you. And watch and see, don't Oprah, because that's how Oprah be playing. Oprah will blackball your ass. Her and allegedly. Her and Daniels, who was with Monique and shit, they blackballed her ass, and he know he did, allegedly. Okay, but that's how it rolls. But what? 50 Cent to the rescue. The king of New York is 50 Cent. Dun, 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 dun. He's like the Black Rocky. So 50 Cent basically told her, hey, I got your back. Come on over here. I got some shit for you. So he's going to have some work for her and find some work for her to do, et cetera, et cetera. It's interesting about Taraji, though, because when you look at Taraji or look at Vivica Fox and a lot of these women, it seems like when they get to be in the black community, when they get to be a certain age in Hollywood and they get to be in like that late 40s and 50s and stuff like that, it's hard for them to find roles, pertinent roles. Okay. And one of the reasons is that they don't value them as older black women. When you're young, they value you. Because remember young people or young stars like Rihanna and Fantasia and Jennifer Hudson, they draw young crowds. They draw young moviegoers. Whereas a person gets older and older and older, we pick and choose the movies that we would really go out of our homes to actually physically go into a theater to the post-COVID and sit down and enjoy a movie. because most of the stuff that we see eventually we know is coming on TV. And we can wait. We're thinking about making sure our bills and shit is paid, making sure we got money to do little shit that we want to do. So it takes a lot for older people. If you're older than 55 or 60, my age or so, you ain't going out to the movies like you used to, hanging out in the clubs and shit. We don't do that shit no more. We did that. And people that do it now, I ain't get mad at y'all. Y'all got to find y'all way in certain things. Y'all got to experience certain things. You got to grow. You got to learn. You got to listen and pay attention to everything, not just be fed finger food and don't know what the fuck is going on. So Taraji P. Henson, you knew what you were signing. And I understand that you don't want to do these press promotions and shit flying anywhere. I got that too. But that's a part of the game. Steve Harvey told Monique, that's a part of the game. I support you behind closed doors. I support you, sister. But when she went on his show, he shut the fuck up. He just listening to her. He didn't want to get into it. Because he know in a matter of a second, they could strike his ass down. Hollywood and the Jewish community could strike your ass down like that. Okay, so the next thing, increase them postage stamps. So for those who are mailing shit, with the regular mail, postage stamps is going up January 1st and shit. Every year they go up. Don't they just edge up? Because a lot of people are not using postage anymore. They use United Parcel Service. They order shit online. They email shit. They message shit. They text shit. So a lot of the times they're not using a lot of the regular mail system. Okay, Shirley Caesar. I saw a video with Shirley Caesar. If you guys don't know her, she is a black gospel pastor mecca in the black community. Shirley Caesar's, right? She's the one that sung that song, greens, beans, tomatoes, whatever. And greens, beans, tomatoes, whatever. Anyway, she was at Carson Pearson, who is a famous African American megachurch preacher that died, okay? And at the particular going home service, that's what they call it, home service, right? I don't know if he's going home or not, okay? But anyway, she was sitting in the audience with a couple of her friends, and there was a pastor on stage. Now, the pastor on stage was a gay pastor. And this particular gay pastor was actually a mentee of Carson Pearson. So now I got to ask myself, if the gay guy, if Carson Pearson was mentoring this gay pastor who's on the stage, then what was Carlton Pearson? Gay. Allegedly. I'm just saying, okay? So anyway, so he was there and he was saying some stuff on stage. Then he happened to announce, and I want you guys to meet my husband. Okay, so this gay guy is on stage. He's a pastor, and he's introducing his husband. And the camera flared over to Shirley Caesar, and Shirley Caesar was like, that look was fucking priceless. Y'all may be able to go on YouTube and look at Shirley Caesar's reaction to the gay pastor introduction. She was like, and she looked at her friend, and her girlfriend was like, calm down. I was like, she was like, what the fuck is this? Okay, so with that said, you can kind of tell that she's one of the ones that still is teaching biblical truth the way that is really written in the Bible. But she was like fucked up, like, but at the end of the day, there's going to be more gay pastors that's going to come out. There's going to be more gay children that are going to be coming out. The war is not going to stop. It's going to get worse with Iran and China. We just don't know what's going to happen. The election is going to be crazy this year. From now until the election, the Democrats and the Republicans are going to be going at it back and forth, legally back and forth. P. Diddy thing, they're going to be ready to drown his ass. I don't know if they're going to give him up for a sacrifice right now, or are they going to let him hold on for a little bit longer? Because P. Diddy probably got videos on a lot of them people too. TD Jakes, as I said, I think his health is gonna fuck himself up trying to fight this shit. Cause Moore is also been another guy to come out with TD Jakes to talk about how TDJ screwed him around. Now I don't know if it's screwed around or screwed him around financially. Okay. But anyway, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Uh, I'm definitely going to be working on my kitchen island, something that I've been working on in the house, trying to learn how to use epoxy to put on the tabletop. So I have a nice wooden tabletop, large round tabletop that I got, that I found this shit somewhere on the street. Let me find this shit. I was like, somebody throwing this away. Okay, but it was at a sale, like a yard sale. I was like, because I could see shit what it could be, not the way it looks right now, but what it could be. And that's what a woman does sometimes when she's looking at a man. She's not looking at where he's at right now, but where he could be. Where is that potential that she sees in him? Just like the woman who started dealing with Denzel. She probably saw the potential where he could go because of who he was. So no, she didn't get him when he was all the way at the top. No, she got him early because she saw potential. And sometimes you have to see potential in people. But then there are other times that, you're dealing with somebody and they never change. Their thought process never change. They never grow. And you're putting your eggs into one basket with this female who you think is supposed to be supporting you, or this male who you think is eventually going to turn around and start doing some productive things. And here it is years later and ain't shit changed. Well, guess what? It's time for you to make a move. That's just my thought process. I can't waste, I'm old. So I can't waste valuable time waiting on motherfuckers to catch up with me. If you ain't caught up with me now, at this age, I can't fuck with you. I want you to do well over there somewhere across the street. Go over there and do it, okay? It may take you 5 or 6 years. I may be dead in 5 or 6 years. So when it comes to me, I don't have that kind of energy. If you're a 20-year-old, excuse me, you probably got that kind of energy. Good for you to be able to grow with that man or whatever. You see, Nikki, what is it, Cardi B and Offset? She divorced his and she's going through divorce. She said, fuck that, and took all the money and shit. But she didn't take all the money. He had some sense, I know, and put some money away. He couldn't be that stupid. At least I don't think so. She would have never married him. I think so. But I don't know why women think that when men that got money, prestige, that you're the only one that's going to be with him. That shit is not going to happen. And I don't care who they are. I don't care if they Denzel, Samuel L. It doesn't matter. All these men is dipping somewhere doing something. And if they're not dipping with another woman, they're dipping with another man. Because dipping with another man is less noticeable. Because you be thinking, oh, he hanging out with his buddy, they're hanging out. Yeah, they're hanging out, all right. Buddy is touching his toes and shit. Okay. Buddy's touching his toes. So when you look at somebody like DJ Khaled, who knew that he would even hang with Diddy like that? Who knew? I wouldn't have, thought they was a power couple. I just wouldn't have been the one, allegedly. But anyway, you guys take care. I'm getting ready to get out of here. Live your dream. Do what's necessary. If you didn't accomplish what you wanted to in 2023, there's always 2024. Start again. Anyway, love you guys. One love.